Okay, so I have a question for you. What were some of the major differences between, living in Guadalupe and then coming to live in the United States that you experienced?
Okay, so it's Guadalupe. It's pronounced Guadalupe. Some of the differences, especially in the education system, when I came to, so for example, back home in the French education system, when you're taking a test in school, for example, you have more of a leeway to express your thoughts because it's more of an essay format when you're responding, in your tests. And then I notice in the US, it's more of a multiple choice format, which is something I wasn't used to back home. So that really confused me because a lot of the questions are very similar. And so you have to really read, your textbook to really understand and make sure that you're picking the right answer. But the thing that I noticed later on after that experience, and I wanted to really point out, is when you write an essay format, you really have more of a, you're really talking about your thoughts. Even though you read somebody's textbook, you can write what they said and then you can say what you think about it. You know what I mean? So you have it's more of a sense of freedom in that sense. When you're doing a multiple choice test, it's like you have to stay within the guidelines of that textbook, which in a sense leads you to not expand your mind and not talk about your thoughts. And I
Mm-hmm.
see it as a form of control at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like we want you to stay on this subject. We don't care if you have other thoughts about anything. This is what we want you to talk about. You know what I mean? So that's how I really see it.
Right, right. It's more rigid, I understand
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But that's one of the beauties of, getting to travel and living and visiting different countries. You can see, how
Mm-hmm.
the world works. Because a lot of times as Americans, we pretty much feel like we have the answer. We do it the right way, and the rest of the world
Mm-hmm.
should do it the way that we do it. But a
Right.
lot of times when you go to different countries, you'll see that they have higher math scores, higher
Mm-hmm.
reading and writing scores, higher science scores than the United States.
Yeah, and it's just learning from other cultures because you can learn a lot of things. I remember when the pandemic first happened, I remember a watch because nobody knew this was going to happen and everybody was panicking. This was the first time, people are trying to find ways to, like, let's say if you're stuck at home, well, I can't go to the laundromat anymore. How do I wash clothes? Like for me, a simple thing such as washing clothes. Well, we grew up, we didn't have a washing machine growing up, so we
Hmm.
washed clothes by hand. So I knew how to do that already. So when I hear things like that, I'm like, wow, somebody doesn't know what to do if they don't have a washing machine. You know what I mean? Just simple
Yeah,
things like
definitely.
that, you know, having traveled different places, you learn about that. Like even running water, we didn't have running water growing up. So we had to, especially on Sundays, Sundays was chore day. So we would have to walk to the fountain, use buckets, fill them up with water, and then walk back at home. And we had a big, huge container that we filled up with water every Sunday. And then we
Wow.
use that to wash clothes. We use it to cook food. We use it for everything. You know what I mean? Because we didn't have running water. So those are survival skills that people can learn from. You know what I mean? In times of hardship and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. So I guess it's like the less that you do for yourself, the harder it's going to be. Because some people they growing their own food, or like you say, you got to go get your own water, or you got to go get your
Hmm.
own fish. You got to wash your own clothes.
Right.
Then you'll be more prepared to handle a situation like that. Most definitely.
Exactly. And speaking of garden, my dad, we had a garden too growing up because we had a really huge yard when we lived in Guadalupe. So my dad had started a garden. We had like different vegetables, carrots, cucumbers, lettuce, stuff like that. And we had what do you call it? Chicken. You know what I mean? My dad always raised chicken too growing up. So and two, I come from a big family. There's eight of us, eight siblings, four boys, four girls.
Okay.
So, my dad was the only one working at the time. So, we had to do what we could to make sure that the family was taken care of. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. So, those are different life skills that people can definitely learn from. So, if it would come down to it that I would have to wash clothes by hand, I mean, it's something I've done. So, it's not like I would shy away from it. I
Right,
know how
right.
to do it as long as I have the water, because the water is the most important thing that you need. You know what I mean? Then you just learn what to do in times of difficulties.
Okay, so let me see. Was it anything else you wanted to touch on?
I think that was, yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, that was
You said that was it.
Another thing I'm working on is my book. I haven't wrote anything in a long time. It's just so many things going on. After I'm done with this, I'm gonna go and record a lesson because I have like 6 lessons already prepared, and I have to record myself teaching them. You know what I mean? So,
That sounds like a lot of work. You stay busy though. That's good. That's
so
amazing.
yeah,
I heard you playing. Keep up the good work.
yeah. But once that part is done, that'll and even after the website is up and running, I still will be creating more courses to add to the website anyway. You know what I mean? So just based on the needs and the feedback that I will be getting, from students. Of course, you want to have the basic things in there, but sometimes somebody has a particular pace or something that they want you to teach, and so you have to create that. So learning just never stops. Creating just never stops. It's just an ongoing thing. Ongoing.
Most definitely.
So, so yeah. Well, I appreciate you for doing the interview with me, or bringing me on your show, I should say. I
Oh,
appreciate you for
likewise. It's an honor.
that.
It's an honor. Most definitely.
So this is great. This is great.
So maybe I may have it in the. I'm supposed to go to Africa Friday. Hopefully, if everything go good.
Oh, really? Are you? Which
Yeah, yeah.
country are you going to this time?
I'm going to Cape Verde,
Okay.
Cabo Verde.
Okay. Now, are you taking a group or it's just you?
Yeah, yeah. I got a tour in September. I got a small group, and then I got another group tour in Ghana. That's
Okay.
in December.
Okay. Okay. Wow. I can't wait to make it there.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. You enjoy yourself in Africa for
Oh, I
sure.
know I will. I'm not even gonna want to come back, especially now. You know what I
You know
mean?
which part you want to go to?
What's that?
You know which African country you want to go to? Or are you
I
interested in
know
a
I know
specific place?
definitely Morocco is a place
Okay.
that I have to go, and Ghana for sure, and Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, Ivory Coast.
Hmm.
But Morocco, there's something I don't know why Morocco is calling me, but that place I have to specifically visit.